Hi, I'm photographer David Flores, hanging out in the park with my pals from B&H. We're going to play a little basketball and try out Fuji's brand new X-H1. And we're actually shooting this video on the X-H1. Let's go check it out. Come on. The X-H1 is Fuji's flagship camera, and it definitely feels that way. They've taken all of the design logic from previous iterations like the X-T2 and the GFX and put them into a slightly larger magnesium alloy body. It feels wider, it's a much larger hand grip, which is a good thing. The hand grip feels incredible. If you're coming from a larger single lens reflex camera, your hand falls right into the grip perfectly. It's comfortable, you're ready to shoot. One of the things that I've come to appreciate about the camera is the EVF extends out from behind the body, so your face doesn't smash against the LCD screen when you're making a photograph. The camera is using a newly developed shutter, which is extremely quiet. It's almost leaf shutter quiet. And you can make it even quieter by enabling electronic first curtain shutter. It uses an electronic shutter to begin your exposure, closes it with a physical shutter. If you're shooting at shutter speeds higher than 1/2000th of a second, that's cool. The camera automatically flips over to mechanical shutter, so you're not having any of the weird jello-y effect in your shot. The LCD screen is incredibly photocentric. It doesn't flip around, so it's not really the best option for a vlogger, but if you're shooting in portrait orientation, you can tilt the screen towards you. I think that's very comfortable. If you're on a set of studio sticks, that's nice. If you like composing vertically with an LCD screen, this is one of the best that's out there. That looks good. That looks good. If you like to shoot in a portrait orientation, the vertical battery grip gives you all of the ergonomic controls and make that kind of composition, that kind of shot easy. You've got a joystick, shutter release, dials, everything that you want, but the most impressive thing is it enhances performance. Switch over to boost mode and you're shooting up to 11 frames per second. For video shooters, it extends the recording time for 4K video recording. Go from 15 minutes all the way up to 30 minutes of recording, which is nice. Essentially, there's 3 batteries working, 1 in the camera body and 2 in the grip. And the camera is cycling around which battery it's drawing power from. That helps with heat dispersion and keeps your image clean and artifact-free. The shutter is incredibly discreet. The new design, it does produce a sound, but not so much so that it would bother an athlete or take them out of their game. So if you were shooting like on the sidelines of the game, no problem. If you're in the mix of things, the camera's not going to take away from the action at hand. So if you've used previous cameras, the X-H1 is using a new algorithm for autofocus tracking. You can customize this in the menu settings based on the type of subject that you're shooting. We found it very accurate and on par with a very good DSLR. Overall, the feel is incredibly premium. It's like using a 1 series integrated camera, either from Canon or Nikon. It's a solid feel, it's a solid build, and the camera is incredibly responsive. So if you're used to the image quality from the X Pro 2 and the X-T2, you're getting very much the same here, but the ergonomics and the overall performance of the camera make for a much better user experience. So 5-axis in-body camera stabilization. This is something that folks have requested for a long time from an X series camera. And it's a feature that really goes beyond improving image quality. From the user end, if you're composing with a longer lens, and I felt this today shooting with the 56mm 1.2 and the 90mm f2, really helps keep things straight. I was able to keep my concentration on the subject. When I would move, it would follow with me. And I don't know what Fuji's doing here, but this is better than any system that I've tried looking through the viewfinder.
Woo! There he is, celebration, celebration. Woo! That's right.
With the X-H1, Fuji's really gotten serious about video. And one of the things that they've been pushing is higher dynamic range in film moving image. F-Log, which you can record internally to SD cards, forced us into a base ISO of 800. Throughout the day, we shot most everything in Eterna. We tried to get that at a dynamic range of 400, but that again forced us to a base ISO of 800. So what we did as a compromise, we kept it in Eterna, and we're shooting at a dynamic range of 100. And even at DR 100, we were forced to use ND filters. More than any X series camera before it, the X-H1 has a ton of professional video features. We're shot most of the day in DCI 4K at 200 megabits per second.
I was like, that's gonna be the one right there.
We demoed the internal F-log, which you can see here. The camera even does 5x slow motion at 120 frames per second HD. I've particularly enjoyed recording my friends in slow motion because they're not professional basketball players, and this made them look good. Well, I had a great time shooting some b-ball with my friends from B&H today. You know, the X-H1, it's a fantastic jack-of-all-trades camera. It's very photocentric, but I think as more and more users embrace the professional video features of the camera, Fuji will add more of those through firmware or through future models. For more on the X-H1, photography, and all things imaging, visit B&H. I'm photographer David Flores. See you next time.